Welcome back to another podcast, the Cam and Sean studio. I have Sean Dittmer in the building this time.
Let's go.
Ryan is in here too.
What's up?
If you want to move a little closer to the mic.
What's up, you guys?
And then Raymond in the house.
How's it going, everybody?
So it's been a tough week so far. The weather has been kind of crazy for March. It's been super hot. Been having to show homes out in the heat, standing in the sun like crazy people.
He's heating up.
You know, it's always a good helpful tip to talk inside the home and not outside, out in the sun getting all baked up.
For sure.
Yep.
So have you guys had any issues lately and any pro tips that you can give to some clients who are thinking of buying or selling a home?
So recently I was in an escrow, a very large transaction for a rental property. And what I would recommend if you are selling a rental property that is multiple units is to make sure you have your documentation right up from the beginning on what is this property actually making. So that way an investor can come in and look at the numbers and provide an accurate offer for you based off of what does this property actually make. Because when you're dealing with an investor, it is completely different than a regular person, right? They don't care about how the home necessarily looks or flows. It's more of how much money is it generating, right? It's purely financial. It's not emotional at all. So if your numbers are skewed, that affects your overall value of the property a lot. So the one we were dealing in, it was a very large property making six-figure income, but it had six-figure expenses.
Whoa.
And so it wasn't worth near what they were asking just because of how much money it costs to actually run that place. So,
That's insane.
I think at the end of the day, that kind of opens up the seller's eyes of what they can do to improve on the property and their numbers, I feel like.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
So
so if you're thinking about selling, because people try to, they use real estate for tax advantages, which is I'm all for that, right? I do that myself. That's great, but you have to understand though, like when you're going to sell it, those numbers have to be as profitable as possible, right? To get the value of the property. So. If you're doing some hardcore tax saving strategies, be prepared that that's going to affect your overall value because you have no proof of anything of what it's making.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I guess
so
consider there.
if you're gonna, you have to bite the bullet and pay your taxes.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, quick shout out. I just want to congratulate Ryan on his first vacant land listing.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Congrats.
And from what I hear, they're really good parcels with water meters.
Yeah, 2 water meters, fully fenced, but we're selling the parcels separately. They bought it as 2 parcels, combined it. They wanted to have a 5-acre lot, but we're selling it 2 parcels. So it's gonna be fenced on 3 sides. It's a really cool corrugated metal. Kind of got the
Oh, that's
effect
cool.
on it.
Where's this at?
It's up in Landers.
Okay.
It's really usable, flat property. Not many Joshua trees on the property, so should be coming up soon. Just gotta get some pictures for it. And
Do we have a price?
it's gonna start out each parcel at $75,000.
Okay, with water meters, by the way, what's a water meter costing nowadays?
24,000.
Yeah,
24,000.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with getting that installed and paying that.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Right now for that.
Yep. Nuts.
Unreal.
So that's a good price.
The water meter alone is just worth it at 75.
Yeah,
So
a
you
lot of
can-
people when they buy vacant land, they ask me, well, what do I have to do to get utilities connected? And I tell them about the water meter.
Stop.
Yeah, it's stuff right there. So
Yeah.
You might as well spend a little extra money and purchase a property with the meter already set.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna spend the money anyways.
Unless you have plans, right?
Not sure.
my clients have had a few pushbacks on that. They're like, one in Joshua Tree, he was trying to get some plans on like where the electricity was going, how much the water was going to be, and yeah, they were really strict on it. Even went to the neighbor to try to get information. Just the plumber was much. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's good to just get a property with a water meter already installed. Saves you some time.
Yeah.
Saves you having to talk to the.
And they're pretty common. Yeah,
Right.
we see it
They're out
pretty
there.
pretty often. It's
Just
not like
no
it's
one likes the price point.
yeah, it's just a unicorn. But
Yeah.
you have to. It's not just. That's what one thing it bugs me pretty bad is that people just like, oh cool, it has a water meter, but it's like that's a
usually-
huge
yeah.
thing to consider.
It's nearly 20
Huge.
grand anywhere.
Yeah, literally, that's a huge thing to consider. Not just necessarily like, oh cool, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And another shout out to Raymond, his first year in real estate.
Let's go.
Yeah, definitely.
How are you feeling?
Man, dude, it's been such an awesome year. I feel like I was really nervous coming in. I didn't know what to expect fully. And I honestly gotta say that I thought it was gonna be a lot easier than it really was.
I thought the same thing when I did it too.
And it was a really humbling experience, but I'm glad I stuck with it. And ultimately, dude, I set myself up in a really nice way to be able to do it. But dude, thank you so much to the Cam and Sean's real estate team, because I don't think if I had this team, I'd be doing anywhere what I was doing. You know, in my year one, I don't think I would have flopped, but I don't think I would have produced what I did produce. You know, and it was fantastic. So I'm
What,
excited to-
30 something transactions?
32.
32 transactions first
That's
year.
good.
First year, man.
That's
They say
wild.
That's good.
most first year agents don't even close a single home deal. You know.
Nope.
So like that's insane. And I just really am glad that I started when I did, and I get to really jump this whole second year and see how much I could actually do. You know. So I'm excited, and that's been my whole goal, is just to see what I can really set my bar at.
So my recommendation with that is double every year until you physically cannot double anymore.
All right.
So I did the same thing, I don't remember my first years, but 30 something transaction. Then I'm like, can I do 60? Can I do 120?
And
Can I
get
go
up there.
240?
Yeah.
Right. And so now this team, we bring in usually over 300 transactions a year. So like it was like 330, I think we did last
Yeah, I
year.
think it was like 337. If I'm not wrong. Whatever.
It's
Right.
almost a house every day.
Yeah,
Insane.
yeah. So that's the goal, guys. By the way, is a house a day.
That's right.
Okay, I'm not happy unless we get a house a day.
All right, for sure. That's fair.
And then we get the jelly bean. You don't want the
Yeah.
jelly bean.
Yeah, you know what they do with us.
Don't be late to the meeting. Don't be late.
We're all kind of new agents here too, and I noticed. How did Sean approach you to join the team?
No,
Is
I
that-
actually approached Sean.
Oh, you approached Sean.
Yeah, I approached
Okay.
Sean. Man, it was really
What made you like approach him?
well. I was working at a Spectrum store, and I just was really unhappy with what I was doing, bro. And I knew I was good at sales, but I didn't know where else to go. I thought about doing like car dealership stuff, and there's just like no life in that. And real estate's pretty busy too, but man, I just couldn't go to something else. So I knew I had to do something that was like bigger ticket. And I started seeing Sean like just popping up on Instagram everywhere, just killing it, And then out of like, talking about what I wanted to do and him having some relationship with some of my family members, we eventually like met. And I remember telling him like, hey, I really want to do this. I really want to get into that. And he interrogated me a little bit. I think we got down to the core of what it really was that was moving me to do that. And then I remember a couple months later, I was still taking a little bit to finish my course. And I was making some personal excuses on, work getting in the way and stuff like that of actually finishing to take that test. Remember I came and asked Sean to be his assistant, and he was like, dude, sorry, I just hired an assistant. You're just going to kind of buckle down. You're going to kind of have to buckle down and just get it done.
Yeah.
And dude, I finished that course. From that conversation on, it took me, I think, a month and a half to finish the course, schedule the test. And then I was licensed, and dude, I got my license and left Spectrum same day. I was out. See you later.
Later.
Hell
later.
yeah.
Yeah. So full disclosure, guys, I get that call quite often of people like, "Hey, I see you killing it. I want to do what you do." So that's why I was interrogating you. Is like, what's up with you? Like, because everybody
Seriously.
talk is cheap,
Yeah,
right?
it is. It
Right.
is,
And
100%.
so as you guys know, like I invest a lot of time in you guys. It should like really push you and get you producing numbers fast, right?
Yeah.
And you skip a lot of the stuff that I had to go through because I'm just like, no, don't go that way, do this,
Yeah.
And so I only have limited time, and so I want to invest my time in people that I think are, there's something behind the words that are coming out of their mouth, right?
Makes sense.
And that's the why. Like, why are you doing this? Because if you're just doing it just because you hate your job, you're gonna fail.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because it gets harder. You're most likely gonna make less money than you do at your original job first,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
But there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I feel like we
Absolutely.
all really like what we do here. I'm kind of happy that everybody comes in happy. We're all excited when we get
Yep.
a lot of other people or agents, because we talk to a lot of agents, don't seem that motivated. So I'm pretty happy with
Yeah.
what we got.
And then that's like by design too, right? Because I'm a big vibe person, and like I'm not a fan of spending time like, you know, it's called like poisoning the well, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like if you have the wrong person here, they can poison everybody else's mindset.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is a tough business. We don't need a bad attitude, you know.
Yeah.
So
You know, I can honestly say that coming to work doesn't feel like you're coming to work.
Yeah.
It feels like, you know, I'm not saying that we don't work, but I just feel like so much weight off my shoulders. I know I'm coming in and just getting it done.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
I feel excited to get into the office.
me too.
Yeah.
100%.
Even taking a few days off, I'm itching to go back in the office.
Yeah.
Ready
Gotta keep
to
things
produce.
moving.
I'm ready to
Yeah.
produce something.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Speaking of family, when I told my mom I joined Cam and Sean's real estate team, she got super happy because on her history, she watches a lot of your videos.
Nice.
And when I was taking care of her the other month, I can hear your videos playing in her room.
oh, that's awesome.
She's like, Doc, did you see this video that Sean posted? Like, yeah.
That's funny.
It's a good house. It's like, it is a good house.
It is a great house.
You know what's funny is I'm gonna
Give you a pre-approval?
I'm gonna do a video, Marvin. I need your assistance on it. But you know the Selling Sunset
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So most of those agents on there, like I completely destroy them on the amount of sales that actually are done, right? So I want to do a cool like video of comparing me, a small area realtor, compared to the Selling Sunset
Oh,
agents.
yeah.
You know, because they're all bougie and fancy, but you know we get stuff done here.
That's right.
I watched snippets of that show, and it's like, that is
not real.
exactly
It's not
how it
real.
goes.
TV or something?
Yeah, they sell like, you know, bazillion-dollar homes in Hollywood and, you know, all over the place. And their average sales price is like $4.5 million, you know, so.
Yeah.
We sell a month.
Yeah.
House like every.
Yeah.
We sell a house like every 8 months.
Yeah, seriously. That's what they do, yeah.
Let's play a quick little game here.
Okay.
Speaking of Sean's listing,
Dun, dun, dun.
Sean is going to read out a listing description. He's going to give us little nips, key features, square footage, and such, and we're going to guess the list price on each one.
Okay. All right,
So-
so I'm going to just tell these, I'm going to spitball these off the top of my head since they are my listings, and I can give you some key details to like the value that I'm coming up with, okay?
Okay.
So, this is a legitimate 4-bedroom,
Nice.
right? 2-bath in Yucca Valley. It's just under 1,700 square feet.
Mm.
Okay. It's been renovated, so you have newer pretty much everything. The only kind of weird thing is that there's no ensuite bathroom,
Okay.
right?
So no master bath.
There's no primary bath at all. So everything is like a shared type of situation. So, but it is a legit 4-bedroom. Okay, in Yucca, 1,700 square feet, normal half-acre lot, and renovated. What do we think?
Do that?
Yep, 4.2.
I am guessing this is
You said
hard.
it's in Yucca?
It's
in
hard.
Is there
It's hard to
any
see without
location
photos.
we could-
Oh yeah. This is going to be Central West.
Central West,
Mm-hmm.
425.
Oh, 450.
394.
Wow.
What the heck?
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, and so actually, I just got the offer on it today.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's one of the most affordable 4-bedrooms in Yucca Valley.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Square footage.
awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, just a little bit ago because I was looking around the 300 to 400.
We
price
went.
range.
I showed some guy a bunch of 4-bedroom houses last week, and give them, and each one fours. It's like,
Yep.
man.
Yeah. But if you notice, they're not moving.
Yeah, they're not. They're sitting.
They're sitting.
Yeah, they're sitting.
Right. So if they're sitting, that means they're a little overpriced.
Yeah.
Right. So that's that one. All right. So okay, now I got another one. This one's this is a legit 4-bedroom. Okay, this is a big boy. This is 2,100 square feet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is.
This one is 2.5 bathroom.
Nice.
Okay. And it is in Story Park.
Mm.
Oh.
It is a little bit okay. So let me give you some context here. It's a 1978 house, and a lot of it is original, like the kitchen and bathrooms. But then you have like some flooring and paint and just light cosmetic upgrades. Okay, good solid half acre lot. It's got 2 brand new HVACs. It's got a brand new roof, which, by the
Wow.
way, a
That's
roof
awesome.
that size is 20 G's for sure.
Yeah.
What?
Right? Yeah. Yep. We thinking
How many bedrooms again?
4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 2,100 square feet.
Garage.
Yeah. Attached 2 car.
Go 450 on this one.
I was thinking the same thing.
Very close. This one's 435.
Ah.
Right, and just for the listeners, the reason why, if it was all done up, 450 all day for sure.
Okay.
But you have dated kitchen and baths, right?
For sure.
So dated kitchen and baths automatically it sets you down a little
Yeah.
bit, especially 1978 like that.
So everything's like the kitchen's original.
Yeah. So when you have those types of houses, 80s houses are not the house that are like, oh, I love that, right? Like
Got
a
that.
mid-century modern,
Yeah.
right? Like the 60s,
Yeah.
right? 50s, 60s. We have some 80 homes here in Yucca Valley that look like that, but they're not. They just took a long time from it to come up from Palm Springs to up here. So
Okay.
the year built doesn't really necessarily matter too much here in Yucca because of the design, but the 80s is those dark browns, right? Those dark colors. And so those are not super popular. They look very dated.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult to guess unless we have our eyes on
Mhm.
the actual finishes and everything.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, we were close.
You're
Yeah,
close.
A little
Yeah.
close.
Good job. So yeah, that one is available. Anybody wants it?
Sweet.
That's funny. This felt like when someone calls you for a listing and like, hey, so I got a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Give you
Yeah.
a quick rundown. What is it worth?
Let
Yeah,
me
can I
see
get,
it.
yeah, can I get your address?
Yeah, exactly.
You got one more on your phone that you want to share?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let me just pull one up.
You
really
got to get
quick.
one right. You got
Okay,
to.
all right.
All right.
Let's pull this
Yeah.
up. Let's pull this up. Ooh, let's do a manufactured home.
Okay.
Okay. This is a big boy. This is a large 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,300 square feet, built in 2005.
Okay.
Okay.
Not too
On
bad.
5 acres. Landers, crazy views.
Raymond, you got to get this. This is your.
Yeah. The home does need some love. Okay, so it's 2005 build, so it's vaulted ceilings, plenty of natural light, a huge primary bedroom, like huge. Yeah, it's massive. Floor plan's great, huge kitchen, but just normal wear and tear that you would see.
5 acres. It's a 3-2.
Yep. 2,300 square feet. Needs a little
330?
love. Yeah.
365.
370.
365.
Oh shit!
Good job. Good job, man. 365.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. But you guys are, if you look at percentages, you guys are all super close. Without even seeing a single thing, just knowing off the top of your head. So
Yes,
good job.
Sweet. How's your golf pro doing?
My
Yucca Valley Golf Studio.
my golf studio is doing
Private
good.
studio.
Yeah, golf studio's doing good. It's getting more and more people. It's really nice to see because there's like this pattern that's happening where they get curious from like the videos that I post,
Oh.
right? And then all it takes is one of the friends to go and experience it, and then they tell the whole friend group, and the whole friend group becomes customers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that is pretty cool because it's cheap and it's nice for Yucca Valley, and you can become a legit better golfer. And golfing is an expensive sport, so to have a nice place in town, completely private, with top of the line stuff, people are starting to see the value. And by the way, guys, book it out, please. Like, make sure you come and book it. Because the moment that it's really booked all the time, I will immediately open up another bay, and I have some awesome ideas. So
Like a tournament?
tournaments are coming already. I'm just working on it. I've been busy, selling all this real estate, but yeah. So tournaments are coming. I'm trying to think of really cool ones. I'm gonna do like military versus firefighters, or
That'd
like
be cool.
That would be cool.
like
So, like,
dentists.
brokerage versus brokerage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll
Yeah.
have a real estate division for sure.
Oh, that'd be funny to
Mm.
see some people.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys need to
It's a good
like
little
check it
workout.
better.
Books and sessions, guys. Damn it.
And
Start
so
a golf team.
Yeah.
See this golf team.
yep. So it'll be fun. We'll have great tournaments. So that's all coming soon.
So I want to end the podcast with the final note. And this one really struck me was what you said earlier about what's a better market. And a lot of people are kind of cautious about wartime and buying homes during this uncertain period. What are you guys' final sayings for something like that? Because I say it now is it really is a good time to buy
Yeah, I
a
mean,
home.
personally, I just started to purchase a home right now. So that shows you anything about time. I'm buying a place. I just had a lot of my clients get a lot of seller credits.
Nice.
There's a lot of homes on the market, and there's a lot of competition for sellers. So to get their home sold, they're offering a lot of credits right now. And even on my deal, I got seller credits.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely no joke. We're not just saying it. It's a good time for buyers.
Especially if you don't have any much liquids to afford your down payment. Sellers are most likely willing to contribute.
Yeah, not all of them.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to be a salesman and not sound salesy when I'm saying that.
Yeah.
But it's like, the best thing I can say is just actually take into consideration what's coming out of your mouth, and so a lot of people say, I guess we were talking about that the other day, like, oh, I'm just waiting for a better market, and you ask them what's a better market, and they don't know what they're like, they freeze, they don't know what else to say past that. And that's a super realistic thing. So if you're gonna say it, at least know what that looks
Yeah.
like for you, so that way we can help you better,
Yeah.
ultimately, I guess.
And to go off of that, like that is just a gut reaction when people are like, yeah, I'm looking for a better market because it's just a lot of noise and it's scary and all that stuff. But as a buyer, you really, really don't want a better market because it immediately goes into the seller's favor as soon as that inventory gets scooped up, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, to me, it's absolutely mind-blowing that people get, and it's funny because it's like we have a herd mentality of when everybody wants to buy, like, we all buy, and
Supply and demand.
yeah, but the thing that people don't realize is that during the insanity time, I didn't really get many calls from like hardcore investors because they just bowed out of the market. They're like, this market makes no sense.
What are you competing for?
I am not paying over asking. I am not paying that much for this house. The numbers do not make sense. I'm out. This will just go and go into my favor here in a couple of years. And guess what? It did. And now they're all back. Like, my phone doesn't stop from people like saying, hey, I'm ready to go, all cash, just looking for a deal. They're all over the place now, right?
Yeah.
So investors are back in the market. If investors are deep in the market, it's safe to say that there's
You should
deals
be
to
too.
be had. Yeah, you
Follow
should.
the investors.
Yeah, follow the investors if you're looking to buy a good deal. And so with this much competition and this uncertainty in the world, every smart investor, they're purchasing, so
100%.
yep. You can get better price. Your interest rate most likely sucks temporarily. Get that, but you know what? You can lock in that price, refinance that thing later. I personally did that with my property. I bought, with a 7% interest rate, and I had perfect credit, so it's like ridiculous at that time. But I waited and waited and waited, and then there was a moment that the interest rate went down to in the fives, and I locked it in 5.375.
That's awesome.
Just refinanced. My payment went down $700 a month.
Yes,
That is
pretty
huge.
easy.
But I locked in that great price.
Question for you: what was that thing that you mentioned in the meeting? The article that
About
it
give me
was,
some context.
it was your daily article about something about percentages.
Right, this one.
Yeah, or more.
Oh, the wages going
yeah,
up.
the
Yeah.
wages for the
Yeah.
first time. The wages are increasing higher than home.
Yeah,
than,
64% of all U.S. counties, the wage has increased has increased faster than home sale prices.
and it's
right.
not going to be long before it starts to catch
Yeah.
up in the reverse.
Yep, and that is
Yeah.
rare, very rare. Right, usually home prices go up much faster than wage
Yeah.
does. So yeah,
Cool.
cool.
All right, guys. Catch you all next time.
Have a
guys
good day
later.
later.
Check this out.
Don't forget the book
Yeah,
at Yucca
Yucca
Valley
Valley
Golf
Golf Studio.
Studio.
Let's go.